All right, real fast, there's this Taylor Swift song called Karma, and this is the music video, and I just want to show you what it's showing, like astrosymbolically. So let's see. First, it shows this light here. I think that's showing you a full moon, okay? And then it's right over Taylor Swift, and she's posing as the scales, which is, obviously Libra constellation. And let's see, and it shows hell. Okay, so then I gotta turn this down here. She's here in this scene, and right there they show you the buck rabbit there. So there's your buck full moon, because they just showed you the full moon. Okay, and okay, so now they're showing you it's like a countdown of time. And there might be more in here. I'm just showing what I see. Okay, so here they show you a full moon again with this cat. They even kind of have rays coming off of it to drive the point home. This is Ice Spice. And let's see, then they have the scene here where they're walking up to the top of a pyramid. Okay, and they're in these like interesting clothing. It's like, well, I'll explain that in a moment. So then they showed Saturn and something that looks to be an eclipse. And then right here they have these lassos here. And they toss the lassos up, and then they're holding like the with Saturn and the moon with these lassos. So what I think that's showing is, so right after the buck full moon passes Capricorn the goat, it gets into this configuration here. This is Aquarius, and you can see Saturn right here. All right, and so I'm just going to go forward a little bit in time here. So this is getting towards, I guess, evening on the 23rd. You've got, it looks like, you have these like lines right here under Saturn and the moon. And so that's what they're showing you in the video with the lassos. They're showing you those constellation lines. So these lines right here, the constellation lines of Aquarius, which are under Saturn and the moon, they're showing you with these lassos. And Saturn is on the left, in the sky, and it's on the right here, and then the moon is on the right, and in the video it's on the left. So they have that backwards. They like to just do things backwards sometimes for some reason, but it's definitely not going to be you don't have to wait for Saturn to show up on this side again. That's not going to happen for another almost 30 years. So the reason I think they're wearing this kind of clothing, this kind of skin tight clothing, is because right under that is the sculptor constellation. So it's kind of like to make their bodies look like a sculpture. They wear those skin tight clothes. Okay, and so the next thing they show in this video is Taylor Swift holding these kind of 5 light bulbs. Okay, now the light bulbs explode. Now, first of all, it may refer to the Olympics, because the Olympics has like 5 rings. I'm not sure, and the Olympics are coming up. But definitely it refers to the church leaving, the light leaving the world, because the light bulbs explode. Okay. Now, the next scene, Taylor Swift and Ice Spice are in some kind of body of water, and they're paddling a canoe. This is a very, very common motif that they'll show they show it in like James Bond. They show it in I, Pet Goat 2. Somebody standing in a canoe like this and paddling, and it usually refers to the introduction of the Antichrist in a flooded world. So a world that's been affected by some kind of major cataclysm, like a water event cataclysm, okay, like mega tsunamis or something like that. They show that constantly. All right, now the next thing is they have this scene where there's this cup of coffee from above, and it's got a clock, and it seems to be at the 11th hour. But you have to notice where the fingernails are, because the fingernails are giving you the clues to what this means. Now they take this coffee and they set it down next to a piano, okay? So a piano has 88 keys, and there are 88 constellations. So that's giving you the hint of what this, how to actually decode this. Okay, so then you have to go back to when she was holding it, all right? Okay, right here. So you have the black fingernail, which I think represents the moon, and then you have this blue one, which I think represents the sun. And you have it at the 2 o'clock and at the 8 o'clock position. Now, if you look at a picture of the Hebrew Mazzaroth, okay, maybe I should put them side by side, like this, okay? Let's zoom this in a little bit. The like 2 o'clock position is the constellation of Capricorn, the goat, okay? And then the 8 o'clock position is the constellation of Cancer, the crab. And if you look in the sky, that's exactly the position of the sun and the moon, because remember I said this black fingernail represents the moon and this blue one represents the sun. Okay, so at this point here where the moon is in Aquarius, it actually just left the goat. So if we back up a little bit here, just a few hours, you see it's in Capricorn, the goat. And if I zoom out here and look at a top-down view of this, of the entire sky, you can see that the sun is in Cancer, the crab. Okay, so they're telling you that that when the sky is in that position, that's kind of like the 11th hour, right? And the last thing they show you is the clock hitting midnight. Now in the music video for the song You Right by Doja Cat and The Weeknd, they're showing a lot of the same imagery. And just to give you an example, so right here they have The Weeknd, and here they identify him as the constellation Aquarius. It's pretty obvious. I mean, if you look at the constellation art for Aquarius, it's the water bearer, and he's pouring water out of a big jug. Okay, so they're saying, okay, he's going to be playing that constellation. And then after that, let's see, they show him there, and she's playing Saturn right here. They make it obvious because she has these massive earrings, so that's reference to the rings of Saturn, and she's to his left, right? And if you look at where Saturn is, it's right to the left of Aquarius. Okay. And she's also got this necklace here, right, with 5 rings on it. So I think that could be a reference to the upcoming Olympics. So, and in this video, they've got like a lot of sort of imagery that corresponds to a water event. You see she's in her little flooded apartment there, and they show here like a lot of kind of mega tsunami imagery, because you've got a landscape here and big waves. And earlier in the video they showed looks like something falling from the sky, and then she falls down onto her bed, and then she looks at her phone and she sees a wave, okay, on her phone. So it's kind of like, is that what's going to cause the mega tsunami? Something falling from the sky. Yeah, we'll see. And then at the end of the video, just like the end of Taylor Swift's Karma video, they're in a flooded world. But in this case, they're not in a canoe. They're just floating in a flooded world on this mattress here. So there you go.